Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sug Talks. I'm Craig Dale, your host, and together with our special guest, we'll take a deep dive into the topics, challenges, and opportunities facing SAP users today. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. I'm delighted to be joined today by Professor Ardavan Amini, founder and CEO of SA Systems, and Edgar Lewis, Competency Centre Consultant at Wales and West Utilities. So welcome, gentlemen. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing the new UK ISUG S4HANA Academy, looking at what it is, who it's aimed at, and how you can benefit from getting involved and attending. But just before we jump into that, I'd just like to ask you a question, guys, if I may. What is your ideal long weekend break? So while you're thinking about that, when this was posed to me, the first thing that came to mind is I have one planned next year. It's in the lakes with my wife, just the two of us, just completely chilled, away from everything, away from the hassles, just a lovely, relaxing weekend. And I actually have UK ISUG to thank for that, because it was my 20th anniversary gift from the organisation, and I'm really looking forward to enjoying that last year. So, Ardavan, what's yours?
Hi, Craig. Thank you. Wow, depends who am I with, but normally my prayer about the weekend, spending time with friends and family, just relax and enjoying a few beers, having a barbecue around, and basically letting go of the real world, really trying to just enjoy the time with the friends and family. That would be
all about the people.
It's all about the people, that's right.
Thanks, Ardavan. And Edgar?
Thanks, Craig, very much for this question. If I had a very long weekend, I would prefer to spend it with my wife and two daughters, and just take them out, and they get to do what they want to do, which is ideally shopping and visiting places, and traveling is always there on the horizon.
Oh, so very good. I'm not sure I'd go for the shopping personally, but, each to their own, Edgar. Okay, thanks for that, guys. Really appreciate it. And just before we get started, obviously I did a very, very brief introduction of you both at the beginning. So please, could you tell us a little bit about yourselves, if you may? Just introduce yourself to our audience. So, Edgar.
I'm Edgar Lewis, a SAP enthusiast and a competency center consultant based out of Wales and West Utilities. My work includes providing thought leadership and improving the processes, automating where possible, and using the right technology to achieve the desired outcomes. Previously, I worked in the public sector with London Borough of Waltham Forest and Department of Work and Pensions. In an IT career that has spanned around about 26 years, I have been fortunate to have worked in various roles as a developer, trainer, provided SAP support, worked in access management, worked on integrations, and have been a technical lead on projects, and also worked as a project manager. I'm a keen enthusiast in maths and all things mathematics, and do in my spare time visit schools and provide remedial classes in maths. Right now, I'm assisting our program team on a couple of consolidation projects and getting ready to move from ECC 6 to S4HANA.
Oh, thank you, Edgar. That's very interesting. I like you giving back, going back to and giving back to school in the maths area. Fantastic. And Ardavan?
Oh, thanks, Craig. So background is I've been in academia for the past 20 years. My special area is I'm a system engineer, and I also had one foot in industry, working with various organizations. I remember I've been a volunteer with the user group as a chair of the S4HANA, as well as business and innovation SIG. I've also acted as an advisor for local government, working with Birmingham City Council, looking at the smart cities and the skills gap agenda within the region. I've worked a number of boards as volunteers. I've been chairing the Centre for New Midlands think tank on digital and how digital can be impacting our lives going forward. especially focusing again around the skills, because we have this formula in academia which says density plus diversity equals invention. And invention, when you have ideation plus the marketplace, you have innovation. But then once you have the innovation, you have innovated something for a particular market or a need, you have to have the skills to ensure that you get the maximum productivity. And therefore the skills becomes quite important. And I've been focusing for the past number of years developing, both in academia and working with industry, skills-based programs that can help our industry to upskill and reskill as we go forward. So that's about it. One foot in industry, one foot in academia.
Thanks very much, Arvan. Really appreciate that. And yeah, just going back on one element of that, if I may, which is very relevant to what we're talking about today, really, and that is, when talking about innovation, when SAP S4HANA came to the fore many years ago, you did indeed, when you were the Birmingham City University chair as a volunteer, that community within UK ISUG. And so just looking at what we're talking about now, the S4HANA Academy, could you give us a little bit of background on where the Academy came from and why you feel it's needed?
Well, the Academy originally started, I think the UK and ISAC did in a skills paper, which you led with the team at the UK and ISAC. And being, again, as you mentioned, I had a foot in academia, and we were trying to upskill our own students to go to employability, working with industry. And then working with number of user group partners and customers when I was chairing the user group 6. I quickly understood the skills gap and the need, and obviously leading from the paper that you guys, the UK and ISAC, have done in terms of the skills gap. What we saw a need in the market that we need to bring in the current trainings where focuses around theoretical and conceptual element of SAP, i.e. introducing the products and the technology, mix it with customer-led. So this is an industry-led and community-led. So what we did was we started doing some research, working with the user group customers and hearing their voices of what they need about the next generation of skills programs that we need to create. And we created a number of working groups. We've done a number of questionnaires from the customers and listening to the user group customers and their need in terms of the next generation of skills. We have embarked on the program of developing the UK and ISAC Academy, which will enable the user group customers and end users, as well as future partners who may have an interest in this program, to bring together the concept as well as, i.e. the conceptual knowledge about the particular topic, as well as the empirical knowledge, i.e. the industry and case studies and the practical element of how this technology can be applied in various scenarios for various customers in various sectors. So it's very much customer-led and end-user-led from the user group themselves, which has really started, got us thinking of building an academy that, can bring in both, create some formal structure for the knowledge that we have already in the huge community of the user group that you and your team have built over the many years.
Thank you. And just a couple of things on that. You mentioned the paper back in 2020. Yes, that was delivered. That highlighted the skills gap. That was coming. If there wasn't one at the time, it was certainly coming. And, some recent research we've done also highlights that. I think it's almost a third of organisations are concerned about the lack of available skills and the impact that will have on the speed in which they can move to S4HANA. And again, over a third don't think that there's enough technical training and resources out there to help them to manage and use S4HANA. And just reflecting back on something you said there about bringing customers together, because I know, in the preparation phase, I suppose, for the academy. We brought a number of customers together who'd been on the journey to S4HANA to understand from them the skills that they felt they needed in their journey to S4 and at what particular points. So how do you feel that was important on the development of the academy?
It is extremely important because, as we said, actually we try to develop the modules and the content based on the needs of the customer. So hearing what they need and what they are currently using in terms of the skills and the training, and where the gaps are in terms of upskilling and reskilling, and also, as you know, in our ecosystem we have different customers at different stages of their journey. Some are at the earliest stages, some is already at the adapting and the transformation stages, some are fully implemented S4HANA and looking at how to maintain and innovate and be productive going forward. So hearing all of those scenarios and being able to tailor, making sure that the content is not just covering the concepts, but actually aligning those concepts and the how, using the case studies and industry best practices that they have tailored during their implementation from various customers, and bring that into our course content is quite key, so the other members and the customers can actually benefit from those experience, and it becomes a formal knowledge exchange, which can then increase the value of the community, and goes back to the formula. Now they know the product innovation, they've got the right skills, they can increase on their productivity and then be more agile in the marketplace as they go forward.
Thank you very much. And so who's the academy aimed at? Do you need to be a technical SAP user?
So, very good question, Craig. So the S4HANA Academy, we started the journey with the Technical Academy for S4HANA. But then again, in the feedback that we've received from our customers and the people attending the course, we have now created also a Business Academy. So the Academy is both for business users as well as the technical users, I would say. And it has a number of personas. For example, the S4HANA Technical Academy has got, from the technical side, we're looking at the network engineer, security engineer, solution architect, developers, basis. Where on the business side, we will be looking at business architect, customization from a business point of view, as well as understanding various business scenarios and how do you adapt as you go forward, make a case, the value case for your organization as well as the financial case for your organization. So it's really aimed at predominantly at the end user and the customers, but from both the technical and the business side.
Thank you. And how does the UK ISOC S4 Academy differ from other training courses?
So the number of unique differences of the UK and ISOC Academy to the current trainings that are available. The biggest difference is that the content is developed by the customers themselves and is led by the customers of the user UK and ISOC, i.e. they actually bring in their own experiences and knowledge and expertise into the content that is being developed, i.e. the how part and why certain things needs to be done and implemented. So where some of the current training that we have, majority introduce the technology and the tool, but do not provide the how in terms and why this technology can be implemented or what are the best approaches. So that's one of the uniqueness of the UK and ISOC Academy, is actually developed by the end users and the customers who are been doing this, adapting the technology, sharing their experience and showing the how the technology can be applied best in various scenarios.
Thank you very much. And Edgar, I'm really sorry. I seem to have been neglecting you for about the last 10 minutes or so. You attended the pilot S4HANA Academy course, and you attended all of the modules in that course earlier this year. So I'd just like to ask you at this point, how did your experience of the academy, did the academy differ at all from other training courses? Was there anything different about it that you found?
For me personally, the learning experience was very good. The credit to this goes to Professor Advan, who worked with very experienced people in the industry to create the content that was appropriate for the need. The modules themselves were led by industry experts with over 15 to 20 years experience within the industry and lines of business. And the sessions contained overviews, discussions, live demos, and an opportunity to share what worked well for others who were partly on the journey and what did not work well. There were thought-provoking questions shared after every segment that really made you think of your current situation, the as-is, and the to-be, and the approach of how to get there. In the future, there are plans to allow time for hands-on tasks as well. For me personally, being quite new to the S4 scene, it was a lot of information to take in. The sessions were very compact, but in the end, it turned out to be quite valuable and helped me understand the steps to take, what to consider, how one can go about setting out a business case for migration from ECC to S4. What is the right path? Is it Bluefield, Greenfield, Brownfield, or RISE? And what are the options to consider when you select each of these approaches? What are the pitfalls and what are the benefits? In those terms, I would say that this was indeed a very good experience. And the way it differs from other training courses is this is delivered by those who have walked that journey. It's not delivered by people who have a training material in front of them, and not just trainers, but these is indeed experiences that they have gone through themselves, and they know the pitfalls, and hence they are able to better advise on what one should do and what one should avoid doing.
So like been there, done that, wearing the T-shirt.
That's exactly how it is. And there are so many resources that are being made available. Reading material, videos are shared, which you can access from the portal for some time even after you finish your course, which is an added advantage to other training programs.
Fantastic, thank you, Edgar. So lots to take in there, and you mentioned the different elements of the course. So just to go back to you, if I may, Advan, what do the different elements of the course cover? What are the different modules that are in the course?
Sure, thanks. So we have 6 modules as part of the S4HANA Technical Academy, and 3 modules as part of the S4HANA Business Academy. So the 6 modules as part of S4HANA Technical Academy entails an overview, where in that module we intend to cover looking at various business scenarios based on the journeys of the users, and basically looking at what are the things you need to consider when, depending to where you are within your journey. Either you at the earliest stage, or you've already implementing S4HANA, or you've gone through the full cycle of development. What are the things that you need to be watch out for? As Edgar quite rightly mentioned, it's very much practical led, and the instructors have already done this, and hence the experience and the knowledge that has been passed through to all of the people attending the course is very much based on the real practical industry experience. Going back to what I was saying, the difference is in here we are bringing real industry experience and case studies and experience of the customers and partners into the program, aligning with what the concepts are from a technology point of view, looking at various scenarios that the organizations are trying to adopt, in this case implementing S4HANA into their organization. So that's module 1. Module 2 focuses around solution architecture, looking at your various solution architecture landscape, from the data architecture to application architecture to infrastructure architecture, and how those need to be aligned when you are looking at your S/4HANA implementation, and again, based on the scenario and the journey you're at. Module 3 is focusing around network and security, authorization role, setting up your network permissions, security aspects as you go forward, and what are the things that you need to be watching, the don'ts and do's of those particular aspects. Again, delivered by very experienced people within industry who have done this over the past 30 years, implemented number of solutions for number of organizations across the UK and internationally as well. Module 4 is looking at application development, so it's very much technical, focusing, suited for developers, basis developers, looking at various application development, Fiori development, and front-end and back-end configuration for your application and your solution. Pretty much sharing some of the experiences, again, when it comes to developing this for HANA based on the various scenarios that you may consider as a customer. Module 5 goes into data analytics and data management and analytics, looking at various types of analytical options that you have and how to implement them, how to manage your data management, again, delivered by raft of experienced people who have been doing this for a number of years. And then module 6 is around customization, which we delivered. But now in our new intake, what we have done, we have moved, based on the feedback we received, we have moved the customization module into the S/4HANA Business Academy. So S/4HANA Business Academy, so the Technical Academy will have 5 modules of overview, solution architecture, network and security, development, application development, and analytics and data management, where we are going to S/4HANA Business Academy, which will entail an introduction, again, an overview, but this time from a business point of view. We are looking at module 2, which is looking at business architecture, looking at how you, from a business point of view, you need to architect your landscape from business processes point of view and capability point of view, and alignment of the set of technologies that you have and integration points and so on and so forth. And then module 3, which as part of the S/4HANA Business Academy will focus around the customization, i.e. How you transfer your existing code, for example, your Z code that you might have in your system based on your processes, into the new landscape of your S/4HANA Academy, and what are the things from a business point of view and process point of view you need to consider as you do that. So it's very comprehensive. And from a content point of view, we are also not only mixing, the other thing I should just mention, and not only mixing the content, not only brings in the industry experience and delivery by industry experts who have been there and delivered this and done this in real world, as Edgar mentioned, but we are also bringing all of the existing knowledge from the special interest groups that have been accumulated over a number of years, the presentations that have been done, the case studies that have been shared, as well as the recording that have been done. So this is all available as additional knowledge to the people attending. So the program that will enhance their learning, so they can look at a number of scenarios, number of case studies, and how it's been applied. So it's really a comprehensive program, but very industry focused, hands-on, practical. Hence, going back to what I said, bringing really the empirical knowledge into the user group community, led by the customer, developed by the ones who've gone through this journey, aligning the concept of the technologies that have been introduced by SAP with real-world experiences and the empirical knowledge.
Thank you both very much. And just reflecting back on a few things there that you both talked about, and that one of the key elements was the courses being delivered by experienced professionals, people with many decades of experience in the world of SAP, and not just taking some very experienced people, some of them who were ex-SAP, but also partners. So working with experts like NTT Data on turnkey consulting and basis technologies to deliver in their areas of expertise for our learners to really enhance that ability. That was great. And you both touched on, I think, as well, some learnings from the pilot. You talked, Ardavan, about splitting with the Technical Academy and the Business Academy, and also Edgar touched on hands-on as well. What's the importance of those learnings, and specifically, Ardavan, if I can talk about the hands-on?
I was going to say if Edgar wants to go first, but okay, I will. So the hands, obviously, the Technical Academy, being the nature of it being technical, we want to make sure that as the instructors are going through some of the experience of how you configure, how you develop, especially on Module 4, the development of application on network and security, configuring some of those security roles for specific scenarios, or in Module 5, as you mentioned, around data analytics, how we do the data management and analytics, basically providing our users with licenses as well to be able to demo, at the same time play around with some of those sort of activities that are being set, to actually, so they can have a hands-on knowledge and experience in terms of how it's been implemented, and gain first-hand experience on some of those development as part of this course. So it's really bringing the triangle of, we talked about the concept, what it is. We are now showing you why this is important and how you can implement it using industry experience. Are you bringing the empirical knowledge together and the case studies, and not just the how, from the point that Edgar mentioned is quite important, not just from a trainer point of view, but from somebody who's actually been in the field for a number of years, over 20 years, 15 years, developed this with a number of customers nationally and internationally, and basically understands the do's and don'ts of some of these things. So bringing them the how, and now passing that out so the end user, the people attending the academy, can also hands-on experience for them how best to implement this, and therefore when they go back to their organization, practically they've gained the knowledge, empirically they understand from the industry why they're doing this and how they're doing this, building on the conceptual knowledge that they had on their sort of like experience of using various SAP technologies.
Thank you.
We know our community, but we don't know yours yet. Why not share the benefits of your UKI Sub membership with those who don't know about us? The UKI Sub referral scheme rewards you for helping to grow and develop our community. You can check out the link in the description to find out more about how you can get involved. Terms and conditions apply. We hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast.
And Edgar, you mentioned obviously the hands-on element coming in the if you like, the future version of the academy that we're developing. How important is that as a user who's attending the course? How important is that for you?
Having hands-on is quite important and quite relevant as well, because there are different kinds of learners. Some learners want to learn based on what you tell them. They are sequential learners. Some will want to touch and fail and want to see things happen. And if it's a technical course, then you should give them that option of going in, rolling up their sleeves and trying and doing things on their own. And for some, the best learning happens when they do it themselves. Mm-hmm. So to cater to them and cater to that aspect of increasing their technical ability, of having seen it done by themselves, rather than just believing in that someone has done it and this is how it will work. When you go home, probably it may not work that way. So, but if you give them an opportunity to do it there and then, it just enhances their abilities, and confidence grows, and hence they will in fact do what is being preached. in the training classroom.
Fantastic, thank you. So you had a great experience of the academy, and we're going to make it even better, so everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you. And just there's one other thing I'd like to go back on what you both mentioned, and that was you mentioned the extra material, Edgar, the extra reading and the kind of out of course own time training that's available. And Ardavan, you mentioned that we're bringing the content from our different communities focused on S4HANA available. So I think that's an important part that we have. And we're in the world of SAP, so we love an acronym. So the VLE, the Virtual Learning Environment that we have for all students of the Academy to log into, to access that information and further reading and videos, etc. I do feel that is a very important addition to call out there that you both mentioned. So just staying with you, if I may, Edgar, a question around, I suppose, how can the Academy support people's career development, in your opinion?
The Academy can be looked upon as a platform that I feel that is there designed to equip users of SAP with the required know-how that will help them on any journey that they are taking. It may be from ECC to S4, or maybe move to SuccessFactors, or moving to any aspect within SAP that they want to undertake. And if you have a trusted, and we know that the Academy is made up of people from all walks of life who have done it in the past and have done a lot of work in that area, who have gone that extra mile, have walked that journey many times. And then as a new user, if you can tap into those resources at any time as and when they need to, that is always a good thing. Instead of going and reading some books or material, you have people to talk to. You have an opportunity to kind of liaise and collaborate with others who have walked that journey that you are just planning to undertake. And that will, in a way, give you some form of confidence, because this has already been tried and tested, and I'm not walking this path alone. So I feel that it has the ability to enhance people's career if we go down the route of putting in more courses that are appropriate to the times that are changing. Like, for example, if SAP is removing a particular or making obsolete a particular line of business, then what is replacing it? If we can... If the Academy, in fact, can bring something and throw some light on that, on what one should do and how others have moved in that direction, then that is definitely going to help. And having that resource available is going to be key in the future.
Thank you. And Ardavan, anything to add to what Edgar was talking about there?
Thank you, Craig. I think Edgar summarized it very well, but I'd just like to add in that what we have done in terms of the VLE, see the VLE as your digital skills DNA that is walking alongside you, is a live platform that is with you outside of the, obviously, in addition to be allowing you to access the content that has been developed by our content developers, and that content exists in a number of forms, in a form of, first of all, covering what the concept, covering the why and the how through case studies and activities and the practical sessions that we have designed as part of every module, and additional learning, but also enabling you that we have created virtual forums and discussion chats amongst the peers who are attending the number of modules, and therefore that communication, as Edgar mentioned, that you're talking now to people who have actually walked the path of going through implementation of those various scenarios and application. and sharing knowledge and expertise outside the classroom with each other, at the same time meeting with each other and networking face to face as you are going through this journey. So making the community more stronger, sharing the knowledge both informally and formally, and having the VLE there that is a digital DNA skill for you, that you can come back to it and look at what is being shared, go through the material again and gain further learning and share some of your stuff through your journey with your other colleagues. It's really going to be an addition to or a unique thing that we have at the UK and ISOC Academy, rather than just some training manuals that you will go through and after you're finished, it's gone, and you have additional, there's discussions, there's forum, there is chats, there is case studies that are keeping uploaded by various instructor as well as the people who've attended the course.
Thank you. And if I might just flip that a little, if I may. So we've looked at it, what the value that the individual gets coming on the course for their career potential development. What does the organisation get out of it? What is the value to an organisation? So Edgar, from Wales and West Utilities perspective, what would they get out of you attending the course?
As I have gone through the various modules, now I am in a position to think about how do I go about building a case. For example, what needs to be put in the building of a business case. That was an aspect that was dealt with in one of the earlier modules that I attended. And it tells you right from what kind of what to look for in while you're selecting your providers, for example. It will also give you the knowledge of what is the right approach to take, what exactly is required, and what needs to be done and when. And if you have all of this information in a kind of a checklist, that is that you get that information from attending that course, and especially from people who have gone that extra mile, then obviously you translate that and you bring it back home into your organization, and then the organization benefits when it is trying to undertake that journey, or it wants to, or it is thinking about taking that journey, and what are the various different things that one needs to think about is all there, is available for that, and can be tapped into. And another thing about the academy is it kind of brings together people, as has been said before. It brings together people who want to go to that journey with other people who have already been on that journey and walked many times on that particular path. And it also kind of, from an organizational point of view, you would want people to have gone through that, through the program, so that it will build their own skills gap. And then when they have to talk to service providers, they know what are the right questions to ask. And when they build some kind of milestones, they know how long it is going to take, and what needs to be planned, and what to put in the plans, and what happens at what sequence and at what intervals. So with all of this, there is a lot of benefit that an organization can get out of by sending people on these courses.
Thank you. You mentioned a couple of things there. One about the people and learning from each other. Now, the pilot was delivered with some online training and also face-to-face training. What was your opinion of the two? What did you prefer? What was your preferred learning method?
For me, it was more face-to-face. And the reason being that when you go through a topic, or there is the presenter is presenting a topic to you, and you have some questions, then maybe at the breakout sessions you can go and ask them and clarify it there and then. And then at the famous when you go for a cup of tea or at a drinks break, you can chat with others. And also during that thing itself, when the thing is going on face to face, there is a lot more interaction happening with people, all of them being in one confined area. and that is truly important. And it's also good for the presenter to gauge the kind of interest and what is being delivered. Is it actually reaching the intended audience, and when it is the right time to change the pitch. So I would prefer face-to-face rather than online.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. And Ardavan, has that learning from the pilot changed anything that we're looking to deliver when we launch the Academy next year?
Yes, I mean, as Edgar mentioned, majority of the people attending the course, they really enjoyed the face-to-face, because you had that obviously interaction between the instructors, the peers, so that there was that informal knowledge exchange was happening, as well as the formal knowledge exchange, the questions they could ask on and off from each other during lunch break, coffee break, as Edgar mentioned. So we've decided to, based on the feedback we received from the companies that attended. I should just mention in here, we received a lot of interest from lots of companies to attend the pilot, and because it was a pilot, we had to limit the number of companies who can attend, and we had, I think, around 10 companies attending the pilot from various backgrounds, from manufacturing to retail to service sector attending. So we had a good cohort around us, a majority attending common across the 6 modules that we deliver. So we've decided to, based on the feedback and the interaction, I'm not sure whether it was the coffee or the lunch or just the interactions, to go face to face rather than online, to enable that interaction to continue. I really enjoyed, and people really enjoyed that, sort of having that face to face interaction. It was quite nice. So we will do that.
The other thing I would like to add here is, if you have when you have the session face to face, and especially we are from the business world and business as usual, if you are doing a course online, then the instant you get a notification from your teams, you tend to kind of get distracted and go towards that. But when you're in a room further away, you have cut off and you are concentrating on getting whatever is getting delivered to you, and that is more, it is much more and better for the learner, I feel. So hence face to face from me as well.
Thank you very much. And so just I suppose one final thing before we start looking at what we're doing next year, but what do you see as opportunities for the Academy going into the future, Ardavan?
The opportunity of for the Academy is to really create an environment where we can upskill and reskill people across various user group customers, and sort of like have more engagement and interaction between them. Also, we are going to be looking at building future academies based on the research that we've done from our communities. So our next academy would be around the BTP, the Business Technology Platform, that we've already started the research around that. Again, everything that we do, I just like to emphasize, and this is key, that we do not develop these academies sitting in silos, in rooms, just thinking, oh, we're going to have, this is going to be the next academy. We do this through a number of surveys that we do, attending the conferences or the SIGs, asking the user group members what they need in terms of the skills gap, where the skills gap are, and what has been highlighted, the BTP has come up on top of the list, that people are feel there's a need for a BTP academy to upskill and reskill their people, as they see BTP being some of the backbone of the technology development of SAP capabilities going forward. So in 2025, we will be looking to develop the BTP Academy, as well as we will be running the S4HANA Technical and the Business Academy going forward.
Thank you. And on that point, when will the Academy be running next year?
At this point in time, what we will confirm. So because we are at the planning phase of this, so we'll be looking to run the Technical Academy twice a year and the Business Academy once. So in Q1, around March time, we will be looking to run the Technical Academy. And then in Q3 around September, again, the Technical Academy. And then around May time, we are looking to, around Q2, May, and we're looking to build or deliver the Business Academy for the next year. Having said that, this is at the planning stage, so what we will be confirming the dates going forward. I do recommend everybody to look at the UKNISOC.org website and look at the dedicated academy page that we've got over there, as the information will be announced and put on the website. And we will be obviously through the Connect conference that we have. If you haven't registered there yet, you should. I mean, it's going to be a packed agenda. I've seen what Craig and the team has put together. And we will be there, by the way, from the academy point of view. So come and see us at the UKNISOC stand. And we would love to hear your viewpoints, especially if you're interested to attend the Technical Academy and the Business Academy, as we're going to plan to run those next year.
Thank you. So for the people who are interested in signing up, visit the Academy page on sapusers.org or pop along to see us at Connect on the Academy stand. Is that what we're doing there?
Exactly.
Thank you. So, okay, thank you. Edgar, Ardavan, thank you very much. And, you know, I've worked with Ardavan for quite some time on this, but I'd like to thank you, Edgar, and everybody else that attended the pilot for, you know, coming along, for working with us through the pilot and really giving us your feedback so we can enhance it going forward. And, you know, thank you to all of our content developers who have worked tirelessly to put the materials together for us that can really add value to SAP customers, whether they're a user group member or not. So thank you both for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights. And to our listeners, thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed the conversation and found it valuable. Please make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And until the next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, every day is a school day. Keep on learning.